hour.
I hate everything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
But like you show when the stream is going, you show up there, so it really doesn't matter if I can see you, as far as I'm concerned.
You show in the stream.
So,
yeah.
As long as the stream is chugging fine, that's all that really matters. But I'm gonna have to. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna splice the 1,000 parts this is gonna turn into. See, for me, it doesn't show that I'm streaming.
The 17,000. No, it just shows upcoming so far.
Does it?
But I assume it'll catch up eventually.
It says I'm streaming. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's usually like a 17-minute delay. You know that.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Hi, everybody.
I'm thinking it must be the Wi-Fi stick that we have in the back.
It must.
It could just be. It could be the computer itself. Just it doesn't have the what is it, RAM or whatever that it needs. But I could also believe it's the Wi-Fi.
I don't know, man. We had 4 people in one episode, and we didn't have this many trouble. It does not seem to. Discord keeps crashing for some reason. I don't know why. This computer just doesn't like Discord, and I cannot figure out why.
To be fair, how many programs do you have open in the background?
Just Discord and OBS.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. If you say so. Yeah. I don't know. Weird. Anyways, we talked about Chicken Run.
Yeah,
we didn't really get to, but we didn't get to talk about it a lot. But I've kind of given up on it because it seems to be the thing that's killing your stream. So let's move on to the next thing.
I mean, what else did you have to say about Chicken Run?
That it exists.
It does.
Let's talk about the next one.
But my one thing I would say about it is in terms of the egg production. We're talking about egg production. I would keep both egg producing chickens and when they were unable to produce, then do both, and then that way you're producing a healthy farm. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, from what I understand, I think that's kind of what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the eggs, once they stop laying eggs, they take those chickens away.
Oh, fair enough.
I think they were selling that meat. She just wanted to no longer have to worry about the birds laying eggs and just wanted to jump straight into the turning them into pot pie part of it.
Fair enough. That was my last thought. That was my last thought on Chicken Run. Unless you had any more.
That's fair. No, I mean it's got that Wallace and Gromit style. So it definitely feels like one of their movies. Them's organized.
Days indeed organized.
Them's organized.
So, moving along in my week, my thoughts that they make all right movies, right? Blue Sky, they make all right movies. And then I looked upon their filmography once again, and I was reminded that they made the Peanuts movie. Yeah.
I've watched the original.
So you're familiar with them as characters.
I've never seen the new one.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's cute. Do you like them as characters? Are they characters you enjoy? Did you grow up with them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you like them,
the new movie sucks.
What? The new movie's so good.
The new movie.
The new movie nails.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's a nice low stakes. There isn't really much of a conflict. I just love how his friends are never-endingly dicks to him. And the thing that's great about in any animation is they always sound the same. You're always that sounds like Linus, or you're that sounds like Charlie Brown. It's always the character first. Am I lagging again? I'm lagging again, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you lose me?
You were talking about Charlie Brown, and then it got all garbly.
Well, the thing about Charlie Brown is garble, 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 garble,
yeah,
garble, garble, garble. No, the thing about Charlie Brown is
that sounds about right.
The thing about Charlie Brown is they always nail the voices, so it always sounds like Charlie Brown, or it sounds like Linus, or it sounds like Lucy. They also always sound roughly the same.
Well, part of Part of what makes the Peanuts in film, like in movie form, what makes them easier to do than other characters is they're usually just played by kids, like
Yeah.
different kids every time, who kind of vaguely sound the same, like they vaguely sound similar.
Yeah.
And so it's very easy for them to just get a new group of kids to come in, and it doesn't sound wrong because that's kind of just what they always do.
Exactly, and it works. And like, I really like this movie's
It
art
works.
style of like, it's a beautifully animated movie. I love the art style of the 2D over the 3D models. Like, it always makes your characters like way more expressive. The fact that they got Bill Melendez in there, archive voice, so it's the original Snoopy, is super cool. And it's just overall a cute movie.
For me, it's kind of a guilty pleasure where it's like when I need a cutesy movie that like doesn't require much focus and I can put it on and it just puts a smile on my face. I put this movie on.
It's one of the few ones where I'm like, it's a legit good movie.
Like it's fun. It's cute. That's the word I would use to describe it.
It's cute. It's cute.
Inoffensive.
So Jordan, what do you have? One more rapid fire?
I have two, but I could do one.
Okay, because I only have one left.
Okay,
and we should just barrel through this.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a choice: B movie or Kung Fu Panda 4.
Okay, we'll put it to Hailey. Hailey, have you seen either of those movies in the past?
I have not.
You have not seen. Are you familiar with either of them?
Yes.
Are you familiar?
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't seen the B. No, actually, that's a lie. I haven't seen the B movie since I was like really young.
Okay, but so you're familiar. Okay, let's do
the
B movie.
You have seen it.
You've seen it.
I have seen it.
It's a deeply weird movie. We'll do the B movie then.
Okay. It's definitely a Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
He saw the one. He saw that bit where he's like, "Bees shouldn't be able to fly," and then he thought that was clever. And then it's just a vehicle for a slew of bad bee puns. Although I will say, the best version of this movie I've ever seen, or at least one of my favorites, is I don't know if either of you are into ASMR, but there's a really quite well-known ASMR person who she did the entire movie with all of the ASMR people across YouTube, and it is like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Because when you strip away the animation and you just hear the dialogue, you truly appreciate just how weird a movie it is.
That is ridiculous. I need you to know that's ridiculous. I need you to acknowledge that's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. It's amazing.
Okay, and now that you have acknowledged that, we can move on, and we can say how this is not a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
I think even Jerry Seinfeld has come out and been like, it's not a very good movie. It's definitely got his humor in it.
Yeah,
like all over it.
So it's not super funny.
Which I was gonna say, I don't think he's very funny, so it doesn't really land for me. The dynamic between the bee, Jerry Beefield, and the human girl that he like has a fantasy like he's got a crush on her sequence is weird.
It's almost Sausage Party.
Like the best representation of how I feel about most of what happens in that movie is what's his name? The guy who plays Kronk.
Patrick
his
Warburton.
Character in it. Yeah, thank you. Patrick Warburton's character, where he's like, why does he talk again? And why is he here? And what is going on? And what's happening?
I hate movies where it's like animals just talk. They just talk. There's no real. Oh, now I've lost them.
Testing.
Testing.
Okay,
Testing.
We're here.
Okay. The stream is still. Oh no, the stream's back. Oh, okay. Whoa, stream freaked out. Now you guys are there now. Anyway.
Oh, wow, you're right. I see what you mean on the stream. We did disappear for once.
Yeah, that
was weird.
That was very strange. Anyway,
this is the stream. This is the stream that does not want to work.
It's
Nothing surprises
Disney.
me
Disney
anymore.
is trying to take us out. That's the only explanation. They don't. That.
Justin. Oh, good, he's back.
Come on, stream. Oh, there we go. No, the stream's back. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out our Wi-Fi issue.
I've decided that that's just what I'm gonna do every.
Don't, because I can hear you the whole time, and it's really annoying.
Just start saying your name until you tell me to stop.
Please don't. Because I can hear you the whole time. I don't need you to do that.
So yeah, that's my last rapid fire. Unless you want to talk about Kung Fu Panda 4.
No, I'm good. Not that badly.
That's the last rapid fire.
Because I only have one left anyway, and it's epic. Try that again.
Which one's that?
And it's epic. It's the one that's basically for.
It's epic. God, that's so cool.
No, I did that because I thought I froze, so I went to do it again just in case just because you didn't react at all, so I thought maybe you didn't hear me. So that's why I said epic.
No, that's fair.
So you would go, what? I've never heard of this movie that I've seen.
I think I've seen that. That's the one with the clankers, right? Or the clanker, the guy who runs around, and they're tiny people.
Yeah, I don't recognize the name Clanker, but yes, it's where they're tiny people.
Clanker.
It's
where the little guys. They're inside the house, and the dad is like stomping around.
Stomper.
Yeah.
Yes, it's basically
something like that.
It's basically a variation of Fern Gully, where except for the girl gets small this time.
Yeah,
and it's got Aziz Ansari as a slug who threatens the other guy, and I'm pretty sure it's got Colin Farrell in it. And it's okay. It's another one that it's their attempt at fantasy epic, and like in terms of like its animation, it's a lot prettier than the other movies like Rio and Horton Hears a Who are very basic in terms of their animation. This one actually looks cool. Some of the action sequences are fun, and some of the voice acting performances are fun. It's got Christoph Waltz as the bad guy. He's pretty fun, but it's just kind of Fern Gully.
It's funny that you say Fern Gully. I watched this one, and it more reminds me of Arthur and the Invisibles.
I could see why you would say that. I could definitely see why you would say
that. That's what this one makes me think of, with Malthazar and the one kid and the characters and the one.
We didn't do. Hailey, have you seen Epic? Have you even heard of Epic?
No,
you're not missing much. It's all right. It's on. By the way, all of mine are on Disney Plus. It's fine. All of mine are on Disney Plus. Just so you know. So if you're inclined to watch any of these, it's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
See, that's the one. That's the one word that comes through every time. So clearly we're being sabotaged.
All these movies are on Disney Plus. Just so everyone knows.
Mine are not on any of the streaming services that I had, and I had to seek them out.
Right.
Other means.
Jordan, what's your first major have seen?
My first major have seen is, it's funny that Hailey said she didn't like this one, because this is my favorite Leica movie, Paranorman.
Oh, Paranorman be so good! This movie's so good!
I love Paranorman. The last section where it's him talking to the poltergeist, the girl.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh,
it's beautifully animated. So it's well written. The performances are good. I feel I got robbed at the Oscars, but I imagine Hailey will probably disagree with me. She probably thinks and I'm sure
it is something. That's the important thing. He thinks it's something. One day we'll find out what. But
we'll get through this. We'll get through this podcast one day. One day we'll get through it.
I think you're completely wrong.
I'm sure you probably do. I really like this movie.
I think you're 100%
wrong. Why do you think I'm wrong?
Just because Brave is way better.
Ooh, my thing with Brave, I just thought that movie was. I always forget about it. It's in the pantheon of Pixar movies. I forget it kind of exists.
So if I'm putting Brave up against Paranorman, sorry, am I cutting Justin off? Is he still talking and we just didn't hear him?
No.
Hold on.
No.
Are you there,
Hey,
Justin? You're done? Okay. If I'm putting Paranorman up against Brave, I like both, but I think for me the reason why I would tend to like Paranorman more is because it's different. Whereas for me, I like Brave, and I like the characters, I like the story, but it's a little more paint by numbers for me. Like
yeah.
it's kind of exactly what I would
Also,
expect it to be.
yeah.
Um,
Also, as I expressed
whereas
earlier, sorry, Jordan.
I was gonna say, whereas with Paranorman, you kind of have more of a zany cast of characters who, I mean, I'll just say it. I appreciate that. The I can't remember the character's name. Hold on, I have it here. The older brother. When you find out, like the entire movie, the sister is kind of fawning over him, and she's like totally into him. And Casey, or Mitch Down, she's totally into Mitch Down, and so at the end of the movie, after everything happens, she's like, oh yeah, we should totally watch a movie. And he's like, oh yeah, no, my boyfriend is totally into chick flicks. And I'm just like, last minute of the movie, it wasn't like a major part of his character, and they just say that,
Yeah, it's pretty
like
cool.
it's like they don't make a big deal of it, and it's just a thing. I that to me,
I like
I
that.
like that. Like
I
I
like.
thought
I
that was a
mean,
nice touch.
as I said earlier, I like my kids' movies
And
to be.
so
Sorry, Jordan.
uh 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 no, we're just not hearing what you're saying.
Yeah.
No.
It's like there was the
I feel like I'm in prison.
wheel of death. Yeah, there was the spinning wheel of death.
God, I hate the spinning wheel of
Yeah.
death.
Again.
Um.
Oh, I heard that. I like my kids' movies to be a little bit different and a little bit bolder, and I think that Paranorman kind of captures that a little more. Whereas Disney, Brave is everything Disney or Pixar, as the case may be, where it's like it's basic, it's simple, and it's fun, and it's cute, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But if we're talking about winning an award, I think to win an award, you kind of have to push boundaries a little bit. And I personally think Paranorman kind of did that a little more.
Yeah, I like like I said
And
earlier.
again, that's not to say Whoa, Justin's catching up.
Like I said
Justin?
earlier, yes.
You're there, okay.
Like I said earlier, I like my kids' movies when they're a bit darker, and yeah, I think Paranorman. I'm not gonna get to talk for the rest of this podcast. Every time I try to talk, every time.
Yeah, it doesn't want to let you speak.
Oh, it's so frustrating. What the fuck? I'm starting to get pissed off. Like I'm starting to get mad.
I mean, that's fair. I'm getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, I like my. Okay, we're gonna push through this. Hailey, why don't you like Paranorman? What's the matter? What's the matter with you?
Jesus Christ! God. I feel personally attacked. No, I'm kidding. I don't like the animation. I don't like the story, and I don't like the characters.
Oh, okay, the animation, that's fair. That I'll give you. Because stop motion is just that's not for everybody. I didn't really appreciate it myself until later in life. Like as a kid, I was always like off put by it. I preferred the smooth 3D animation of a Disney film.
But Coraline is stop motion.
True, but I understand in this case it's a bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Weird.
This one's more stylized.
Yeah. I get it. When you say I don't like the animation, I get it.
Coraline's
I get it.
better stop motion.
And it's also older, so
it's for me. It's one of those things where, I don't necessarily think how to word this. Sometimes it's not necessarily the stop motion that I don't like in some of these, more as it is generally the style of the movie. which I don't necessarily like. So like, for example, with Box Trolls, it wasn't the stop motion that I necessarily didn't like. It was some of the stylistic choices. Sometimes, like, I think that the jaws are a little too square, or I think the eyes look weird. Stuff like just stuff like that, for example, where it's like it's not the entire style itself that I dislike. It's sometimes just choices that they've made.
But also, like, I like some of my favorite bits of animation in Paranorman is in, like, I think the opening when he's like brushing his teeth and you see the articulation of the mouth going ooh ah ooh ah. Did you hear any of that?
Yeah. You said the articulation of the opening the mouth, the brushing the teeth.
Yeah. That looks real. The puppetry looks really cool because that's what that is, obviously.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing with these Leica movies is whether or not I like the movies themselves is a sliding scale. I definitely respect the amount of man hours that goes into making these movies, and the puppetry and the just the sheer amount of effort.
Yeah,
I can
Is
respect.
still even in business? I don't think so.
Yep.
Yeah,
they are. They're working on another movie.
They're about to do a sixth one. Yeah. No, they're just their production schedule.
They're
My guys
on,
had way more movies, but doing it on a computer is always faster though.
They're working on Wildwood, which comes out in 2025.
Yeah, it comes out next year. I'm excited for that one. So, Jordan, is there anything else you have to? I'm going to attempt to talk about Ice Age, but is there anything else you had to say about Paranorman?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I love the movie in itself, like its entirety, is fine. I really love the last section when he's having that entire monologue with the Pendergast little girl.
Yeah,
that's probably like, quite frankly, that's probably why I like this one the most, is that scene.
Yeah, it's so good.
Personally, like I think it just does. The music, like the music amps you up to it's so That's
it. That's all you got for Paranorman.
But yeah, that's Paranorman. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to get through Ice Age without getting technologically interrupted.
And just to save you time, yes, I've seen Ice Age.
Excellent. I had a feeling. Everyone's seen Ice Age. I'm guessing when you were a kid, that was like you were a kid when you watched it. Yeah, same. We were kids when we watched that movie, and honestly, it's not bad. I was expecting it to be bad because I remember some of the later Ice Age movies being bad and or looking bad, at least because I never watched them until today. But it's honestly,
I remember the first one being good.
It's honestly pretty good.
Better.
I know I've seen the second one. I don't remember it. I honestly don't.
I like the second one better. And I like it better because Queen Latifah.
Oh, so that's when she gets into... Okay, because have you seen all of them or just like a few of them, like us?
I've seen just a few of them.
Okay, because
and they're working on 5, I think.
6.
6.
Yeah,
6? Okay.
John Leguizamo, he revealed that they're working on number 6.
Yeah. Which please don't.
I know, man. We're gonna get to the 5th one. The 5th one, real bad, yo. Just a spoiler alert. 5th one, real bad.
Yeah.
This one,
I think I'm pretty sure I've watched the first 3.
I'm pretty sure I've watched I know I've seen this. I know I've seen the second one. I couldn't tell you a thing about it, but I know I've seen it.
Two.
The first one, I was surprised by how funny it was. Of the animated movies of that era, I think it's maybe one of the better looking ones. Now, could that be because it's all in snow and none of the background environment animations have to look that great? Could it be that? But I thought that the models were expressive. It's an hour 20, so it's got to get to a point. Like, the character arcs are real short. They're real short. But I was impressed by how I didn't just hear Ray Romano. I was like, I hear Manny, the character. You know what I mean? I'm learning now. I need to check in to be like, you know what I mean, to make sure that you guys can hear me.
You know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna develop that as a habit, and it's gonna be this show's fault. But yeah, I was surprised by it's a real kind of who's who of actors who aren't really around all that much anymore. Like Ray Romano, Dennis Leary is in it. Like I said, John Leguizamo. Um, Overall, yeah, I was impressed by how not bad it was. I was expecting it to be bad, and I was like, it's not bad, not bad at all.
It's okay.
It's
I was telling
okay.
Jordan, I dinked you
Hmm?
guys. I was telling I was telling Jordan earlier. I was like, I jinxed you guys when I came on.
Uh I mean, it
I
might be, I know, I
we
just don't think it that because we've been able to support 4 people before with no problems. So it's me. I'm the problem. I just
it's
can't figure out
Justin.
why.
I blame Justin.
I think what I'm gonna
Jesus
do
Christ.
after the show today is I'm gonna uninstall Discord and reinstall it and see if maybe that
Yeah.
solves my Discord problems. Cause yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
It's weird
To
and
be
it's
fair,
inconsistent.
when was the last time it was updated? Because that might be a thing.
I've never updated it since we started doing the show. So
I mean, yeah, that might not be helping.
that's it though. That's it for Ice Age. Jordan, what's your next half scene?
My next half scene is Kubo and the Two Strings,
God, that movie's
which
so
is
good.
it's so good. It's another one where that's at the top of my list of
I
favorite
think
Leica
that's their
ones.
best movie. As much as I love Paranorman, I think that's their best movie. To me, that's like Leica's Princess Mononoke. If you've ever seen, like, it's their like swan song, their opus. Like, it's everything, every
I
technique
mean,
led to that epic movie.
I yeah, definitely. Okay, here's what I'll say. Animation wise, it's very impressive. The sheer amount of work that must have gone into it,
I don't
and
remember what it
and
is.
and
The big thing that they show of them
the
animating it.
bone, yeah, the bone dragon thing, or not bone dragon, but the bone skeleton
Yeah,
gigantic thing
yeah,
with the
that's
sword sticking out of
insane.
it. That's so cool when you see that. So in the ending credits, for those who don't know, they have for a lot of the Leica movies, they do a thing where they kind of pull back the veil a little bit and do like a fast forward thing of showing you how they animate or how they put things together and stuff. So in Paranorman, at the end of that credits, they show them building the Norman doll.
Yeah,
And then at the end of it, he stands up like in the studio, looks around and walks off the screen. Or in the Kubo and the Two Strings, yeah, they show them animating the fight scene with the when they get the unbreakable sword
yeah.
with the gigantic skeleton thing. They show them animating that,
And it's
and
like
it's
4 or
really
5
big
of
and
them
it's
doing
really
it. Yeah,
impressive.
yeah. It's like 4 or 5 of them all puppeteering it at the same time, and it's crazy and it's insane.
Oh yeah, it's very impressive. Like moving it a frame at a time because that's obviously how stop motion works.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, it's very cool and it's very impressive. And so just from a technical aspect of like like in the movie he controls paper, and so like when they have like all the pieces of paper flying by, you know that that's them stop animating it, and the
yeah,
sheer amount of details that must have gone into it. That like I absolutely respect the hours and manpower that have gone into it, and that's not even talking about the story, which I'm also fond of.
yeah.
um like I it's a fun movie and I do genuinely enjoy it.
Have you seen Kubo and the Two
I just
Strings, Haley? No, you've never
No.
seen it. You should. It's a good movie.
yeah, I think you should. If you like it's kind of more of a Japanese style story. um so if you kind of enjoy that kind of style, that's more what the style is. It's less of their creepy like
Yeah, it's way like there's no
uh
creepiness to it
there's not
really.
really,
It's
no,
more of a
no, not really.
fantasy story than it is a horror, which is their sort of their previous. I would say that Box Trolls and Paranorman are
Paranorman.
more horror stories. This is a fantasy, and it's a beautifully told fantasy story.
Yeah. um I
In fact, it's really the
I
inspiration for this episode was to
I
talk about Kubo and the Two Strings and how much I love that movie.
inspiration inspiration for this episode, that's
Yeah,
what I think he said. But yeah, no, I enjoy it. I really like it. And one thing that I found with watching Leica movies is for me anyway, it's either I really really like them or I'm kind of indifferent and nothing in between.
Yeah, I kind of had a similar experience, with the exception of the last one I watched today. But we'll get there.
But that's all that I really have to say about Kubo, because it's these are kids movies, and kids movies don't elicit a lot for me to say.
Yeah, fair enough. So my final half scene, I went way back into the archive of Blue Sky Animations for this one. I picked robots.
Oh, the blue robot.
Yeah, it's a blue robot. It is Ian McGregor. It's got Robin Williams in it, where he's the red robot, and he's an inventor. He wants to go to the big city and join the inventor, but it turns out that the big inventor guy is not inventing anymore, and it's being controlled by an evil bad guy who's taken over the company. You've seen this story 1,000 times before, and the little guy's got to rise up and beat the evil bad guy, and it's funny and it's cute, and it honestly. My thing is, I always find it funny when you take an inanimate society and you're like, but yet they still function by the same rules as humans do. So like the whole thing is, the commodity is they're all robots, so they slowly break down, and so they require spare parts, and so they've choked out the economy on the spare parts and replaced them with just straight up upgrades. And so once you can no longer afford upgrades or get spare parts, you get like sent to the scrap heap and sent to like a chop shop, essentially, where you're chopped up and turned to parts. Which is like,
it's kind of horrific when you actually stop and think about it.
Right? And so yeah, there's this conspiracy of they're undercutting the parts so that people will be forced to, so only the it's a really dark, or maybe I guess lazy allegory for capitalism, where they only want the rich people around and the poor people will get destroyed. And yeah, it's really dark when you consider that they get just smushed and turned into metal. It would be kind of like if when you were died or no longer deemed useful, you were sent to a butcher. Like, that's effectively what it's like.
Yeah, more or less. It's kind of, a little dark. It's a
really dark.
Little
it's
dark.
A little dark. Ian McGregor's really fun. It took me a minute to realize it was him.
I didn't realize that he was that was him. I didn't.
Yeah, I'm like, why did I
taught me that?
Why did I recognize that voice? And I had to Google it. I was like, oh shit, is Ian McGregor? Oh, all right then. I enjoyed how Robin Williams wasn't just the genie. He's Robin Williams. He's doing bits, but he's not doing pop culture bits. He's not the genie. So he's kind of different. Hailey, have you seen Robots?
Yes, unfortunately.
You don't like robots? You didn't care for robots?
Not a fan.
I love the Robin Williams part.
That's completely fair. I
can respect that.
What was it?
Everything else was straight trash.
Was this one? Did you watch that one as a kid, or is this one you went to as an adult?
Kid.
And you just didn't like it as a kid. My thing is, a Robin Williams vocal performance will do a lot of heavy lifting, especially when I'm a kid. Like, I'm like, he sounds like the genie. So yeah. I quite liked this movie when it came out. I think I was 12 when it came out, because I think it was 2002. I also think it's from that era, early 3D animation era, so it doesn't look terrible, like, because they're not trying to do humans, they're all robots, so it looks all right. The animation looks okay. It's interesting. I think I did. Yeah, I did. It's all 3D animation, isn't it?
It's another example of it just. Sorry. Oh, pause. Pause for effect.
Pause
Justin?
for effect.
Justin, are you there?
For effect. He's about to say his point. He's about to make the point. I'm building up tension, and he was just about to say.
So, my thing with robots is it falls into that category of kids movies where it's like it's not breaking any boundaries. It's not like making anything new. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's just okay.
It's just there to sell some toys. That's it. That's fine. That's all it needs to do.
It's brain candy. Like, it's not good for you necessarily, but it keeps kids distracted for, like, what is it, an hour 30?
That one was 90 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So it's keeping kids distracted while their parents can go and do other things.
Honestly, that's really why.
That's really why it exists. Also, I think Amanda Bynes is in it.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yeah, she has a romantic love interest with the Ian McGregor character, which made me feel kind of weird. At least it felt like it was
Yeah.
going that way. But anyway, there's a lot of really funny jokes about when the character goes through puberty, his boy parts come, and he gets hand me down boy parts because they're poor. There's just a bunch of puns that were like, okay, that's kind of funny. Oh, I forgot to mention with Ice Age, I hate Scrat. I can believe that. I hate Scrat. That character is dumb.
But he's like their mascot.
Yeah, I know. He's annoying. His jokes are never funny, and he takes up a weird amount of time of the movie. Like the first, I think, 10 minutes of the first movie is just Scrat, and he adds nothing. He just kind of shows up in the middle for like one bit to tell them that the saber-tooth tigers are after them. None of them recognize it, and then he fucks off again. Like he doesn't really do anything. Sorry, I had to say that. So are we doing? We're doing half scenes. Have scenes. Have not scenes, because that was my final have seen. Joe, what's your first have not seen?
My first have not seen
On the rails.
is,
We're on the rails.
is we are rails adjacent. My first have seen is the
Have not
last
seen?
Leica movie. Have not seen is what I meant to say. Is the last Leica film of the day, which is Missing Link.
I've seen this one.
It was the one that I hadn't seen. It's cute. It's fun. It gives kind of Sherlock Holmes vibes.
Yeah, isn't
weirdly.
it like the one? It's Hugh Jackman, and he goes and he finds big. Wait, have you seen Missing Link, Hailey?
No.
I've seen it like one time, and it was one of those. I watched it on my TV, and I was on my phone the whole time, so I didn't really pay that much attention to it. But like from what I recall, it's Hugh Jackman is a famous like mystery solver, hunter, whatever, and he finds Bigfoot, who is Zach Galifianakis, and he takes him, and Pocahontas is him.
Yeah, he's a.
Give it a moment. Give it a moment. Give it a moment. Jordan, you there? Jordan, you there? Jordan, come back to me. Come back
Are
to
you
me,
back,
Jordan.
Justin?
Come back to me, Jordan.
Are you back?
Come back to me.
Hello, Justin. Can you hear me?
I'm here, Jordan. Come back to me.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, yes. He wants to be Hugh Jackman's character wants to join the Explorer League or Explorers League. Words are difficult. He's kind of made a name for himself by going after mythical creatures and things that other people don't believe exist. So the first scene of the movie is him and his partner have found the Loch Ness monster, and he's trying to get proof and yada yada yada. And then he ends up finding the Sasquatch, the missing link, and trying to reunite him with his cousins, the Yetis.
And he's Zach Galifianakis, and he's annoying.
And he's and well, not annoying. He's cute in this one. It's fun, but that's pretty much the movie. Is there's other hijinks that happen in it, which if you want those, then the movie can be experienced.
Do you have any deep thoughts about? Well, okay, I guess we'll go at it from this angle. What? Because I know this one wasn't really overly complicated. It's a lot more basic of a story than their previous movies, and I think that's why I didn't connect with it as much. Because I'm like, yeah, it's not a paranormal. It doesn't have those complex ideas. It's not Kubo and the Two Strings. It's not doing anything all that exciting. It's not, as you put it, pushing any envelopes.
Not really. It kind of just felt safe.
Yeah. Like Kubo was the one that took all the chances, and then the following one, they're like, you know what? Let's just do a nice, easy one.
Yeah, and that's where I say Hugh Jackman's character. He really reminds me of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And it kind of just it's that kind of time period movie.
Yeah.
So all the characters kind of act like you would think they would. It's not really. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Like, it's fine.
So
that's kind of what a lot of these movies that weren't like pushing the boundaries. That's kind of what my opinions end up becoming. Is it's okay. I
at the
like
end of
this
this,
more than the last one I watched, but we'll get to that.
at the end of this for the Leica movies. Now that we are at the end, Jordan, what is the best Leica movie?
Yeah, we're definitely hearing what you're saying, Justin.
What is?
Yeah, what is happening, Justin? Can you hear me?
I hate everything right now.
Hello, Justin.
I hate everything.
Justin.
I hate everything. It's made all the more annoying when he does that.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm not getting. Okay, we got him back.
It's never about being able to hear you. I can always hear you.
Okay, well, I don't know that you can hear me until you tell me that you can hear me.
I can hear you every time.
So, what were you asking me?
What is the best Leica movie?
Oh. Okay. That's a complicated question. If we're talking technically, I would have to say Kubo and the Two Strings because the sheer amount of things that are in that movie that they have to animate, the puppets they would have had to make, the different like for the scene where they have dozens of paper origami birds chasing the live bird, which means they would have had to have multiple puppets for that. Like just the sheer amount of things they have to animate in that movie.
You have to give a definitive answer.
I would definitively say that technically, or tech wise, it's Kubo and the Two Strings.
What is the least best?
Least best? Okay. It's probably oh that's hard. That's hard.
Don't overthink it. First thing that pops into your head.
Well,
first thing.
I would probably have to go I just had the name of it in my mind. The one that's about the Yeti.
Oh really? You didn't go Paranorman?
As the worst one?
No, I said least best.
What? I hate when you do this. So you mean second best? Second best would be Paranorman.
And then what's the worst?
The worst. Sorry, I'm gonna hold on. There we go. The worst is Box Trolls.
And the least worst?
Missing Link.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's what I would have figured you would have said. Okay, so then we're trucking along. My first, thankfully, I don't have a ton to say, but my first haven't seen was I watched Ferdinand. It's a movie about a bull. I don't think either of you have seen this movie. I don't imagine.
No, I don't think so.
It's John Cena. He's a bull, and he lives in a land, Mexico, Spain, sorry, where they do bullfighting. And he's from a bullfighting farm, and he escapes, and he goes to live with a little girl, and he grows up into John Cena, and he's a bull who doesn't want to fight, and he gets sent back to, because he accidentally rampages, he gets sent back to the bullfighting, and it's about him like making friends and escaping. And it's really cute, and there's a lot of really good musical numbers that are really cute. There's a really cute sequence where you see Ferdinand growing up and bonding with this little girl, and it's really fun. There's a lot of really fun jokes. It's generally a good movie. I'm totally blanking on any specific details.
It sounds very Disney.
It is very Disney. I think it's very good. It's quite a good movie. I was surprised by how much I liked it. It was very cute. It's stylized. Maybe it's because it's not their own machinations. Like it's based on a book from like 1938, which is basically a much more simplified version of it. Kate McKinnon is there. She's a goat. Anything else that's interesting about that movie? Nothing that I can think of. It was all right. Jordan, what's your last half scene?
My last half scene is a DreamWorks movie called Abominable, and basically these three young people are trying to help the Yeti get back to what was it, Kilimanjaro?
Kilimanjaro.
I kind of faded in and out of the movie a little bit, which to his right, and they name the Yeti Everest,
Gotcha. So they just find a rat.
and so they're
I
trying to
think I've
take
heard of this
Everest
movie.
back to his family on Everest.
Oh, interesting. I don't think I've heard of this movie. Who's in it? I don't think you
It stars the voices of Chloe Bennett,
Yeah.
Albert Tsai,
No, I don't recognize this.
Tenzing Norgay Trainer,
Doesn't sound familiar.
Eddie Izzard,
Oh, okay.
Sarah Paulson,
All right.
and Sai Chin.
When did it come out?
It was released September 7th, 2019.
Oh.
And then it also says September 27th, 2019, United States.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard of this movie. I recall an Abominable, but to be fair, there was like 3 or 4 Abominable Snowman movies that came out within the course. Like, there's the one where it's like, my dad is a Yeti, and then there's the one where it's like, it's about the Yetis and the Yeti Village or whatever, the Yeti Society. I don't remember this one.
It's produced by DreamWorks Animation Dong Ming Yu Ying Film.
Oh, so it's
and directed by Joe Colton.
It's one of those ones where it was like clearly animated in China, and then they brought it over here and redubbed it. Oh, I think I lost.
It doesn't look like one of those ones, but I guess maybe it is.
So was it
all
bad?
I know is that it was kind of painfully generic.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I would use the word painfully generic.
Yeah, fair enough.
So if that elicits the opinion bad for you, then sure, it was bad. I don't necessarily think it was bad. It's just another one of those. It's cotton candy. It tastes good, but it has no substance.
Yeah. Is that all you had to say about that, or is there more?
That's it.
One thing I forgot to mention about Ferdinand that I really liked was the animals in Ferdinand sort of behave like regular animals. So like they'll be speaking like English amongst the animals, and it'll cut to them, and they're just like an animal exhibiting like a weird behavior. So like Ferdinand is like rampaging through the city, but like he's doing so like a regular bull. So they'll cut out, and it'll just be like footage of like a bull, an angry looking bull rampaging. And the animals never know any more than an animal would. So my last rapid fire was I watched the last Ice Age because I knew this franchise went places, and I wanted to be like, what is happening? So like by the 5th one, wait, have you seen the 5th Ice Age movie, Hailey? No? Okay, beautiful. This is gonna make this funnier. So by the 5th one, you mentioned Queen Latifah. So Manny now has a wife played by Queen Latifah, and they have a daughter who is an adult now, and she's gonna get
Palmer.
Sorry? Yeah.
Kiki Palmer.
Yeah, played by Kiki Palmer, and she is getting married. And it's a very basic. Ray Romano doesn't like the son-in-law. That's the main story. And they want to move away, and it's about Ray Romano and Queen Latifah are trying to convince them that they don't want to move away. And that's the lesson. That's the lesson they learn. And now the tiger has...
Yeah. We're definitely hearing you. Okay?
Please stop doing that. It's really annoying. You can't hear me. Can you hear me?
I can now hear you.
So the tigers.
Well, you in the past have told me to do something to let you know that we can't hear you. That's me letting you know that we can't hear you.
I know. It's just annoying. Anyway, the saber-toothed tiger also has a girlfriend now. I don't know when that happens. I don't know which movie that happens in. There is an old lady
Probably
sloth.
The 4th one or the 3rd one.
Maybe. There's an old lady sloth. There is an old lady sloth. There's an old lady sloth. There's an old lady sloth. You hearing about this old lady sloth?
Would you say there's an old lady sloth?
Yes, there is. She's a new character. There's two. I don't know what they're called. What there are. They're like not lemurs, groundhogs. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I think they came in the third one.
And then there's a crazy badger thing that talks to dinosaurs. And the movie opens with Scrat finds a UFO. And there's a weird B plot where it's just Scrat in a flying saucer. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything. It serves no purpose beyond a minor thing that happens in the third act of the movie. Beyond that, it serves no significant purpose. But the conflict of the movie is there's a meteor that's going to hit the Earth and kill everyone. And they are going to stop it by gathering a bunch of magnetic meteor bits to divert it magnetically so it'll hit a different spot and not kill everybody. But like everyone in the for example, they know what a meteor is, even though they have no way of knowing what a meteor is. He's a woolly mammoth. Why would he know what a meteor is? Or in the case of
because the movie requires him to know, and you're overthinking it.
Or like there's flying dinosaurs, and they know what an apocalypse is. It makes the movie not make any sense, though. Like it's the thing these characters have too much knowledge for what's happening in the movie.
It was never gonna make sense. Come on.
And yeah, it's
sorry. Not only is it Ice Age, it's Ice Age 5. Those movies stop making sense at like the second one.
And so like so then they happen upon this little group of animals who are living within proximity to the meteor, who are all like immortal essentially, and they've lived for 300 years old. And one of the sloths goes for Sid, who she becomes his love interest. So now he has a love interest by the fifth one, and like it's just a really bad movie. It's a really bad. There's one point where like the crazy weasel like touches the two badgers or whatever, and like you go inside his mind, and it's just Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he's explaining what's happening, and it's literally just Neil deGrasse Tyson. And then there's a bit at the end where the Neil deGrasse Tyson weasel just does a bit from his show Cosmos. It's bad and weird, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I thought the first movie was going to be.
Out of context with the way you're describing it, it sounds kind of hilarious. Like,
it's not
so bad it's funny.
It's not. It's just bad. It's bad. We're like, this is it's one of those like
I'm not getting a response to that one.
It's bad.
Pause for effect.
At
this point, yeah.
We're almost there. We're almost at the end. This is the last one. I'm pretty sure this is the last one.
Maybe my sense of humor is just weird. To me, it sounds, again, the way you're describing it, maybe the in practice isn't good, but just the way you're describing it makes it sound so bad it's good.
It's the kind of kids movie that makes you think like, yeah, they think kids are stupid. Like it's one of those where I don't know. I found it to be insultingly insufferable and terrible. Like it's like one of the like straight to DVD is how I would describe it. Like that's
okay. Well, I mean, it is 5 movies in.
Yeah, and they're making a 6th one.
Is that it? But I thought Blue Sky shut down.
Well, technically it got folded into Disney, which is why they're all on Disney Plus. So I'm guessing Disney is now producing it.
Disney's doing it, yeah.
Yeah, which means that'll be interesting to see if Disney does these movies differently. I mean, it's just one of those franchises where all the voice actors will just come back to do them anytime because it's either easy and it's an easy paycheck.
Yeah.
Please tell me that was the last movie for the week.
I have nothing else unless you have some secret, super secret story that you need to tell us.
I mean, not that I haven't enjoyed doing this episode, but like it's cursed. It's been cursed the whole time. I don't know.
Die.
I don't know. It's not Hailey's fault. Hailey has been on the show before successfully.
And she's been a remarkably good sport throughout all.
I'm okay with that. Hailey, I got to do the assignment for next week, and
I've been laughing through the pace.
we're gonna wrap up the show. Yeah, for those of you who are still with us, if you're listening to this on Spotify, I'm so sorry. You're gonna hear all the technical fuck ups. I'm gonna try to combine this into one video on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that I'll hear it.
I'm gonna combine them all into one part and just put them up as a YouTube video to try and prevent myself from going crazy. But with that, we gotta do the assignment for next week for Jordan. Transformers 1 comes out next week, and so we're gonna do a Transformer SEO friendly Transformers episode, where Jordan is gonna take on the Michael Bay Transformers challenge. Which, as a reminder, Jordan, remind me what the Michael Bay Transformers challenge is. You know, in case Haley wants to do it.
Watching all of the Michael Bay Transformers movies as fast as I can, one after another, after another, after another.
It is a truly exhausting experience. And we're going to fill it in. We're going to pepper it in with some various Transformers series, television series that we haven't seen, as well as we're going to do a big review for Transformers 1 because I'm very excited to watch that movie. That's next week. Haley, we'll probably bring you back when we eventually get Jake on to do that Don Bluth episode. Or we'll find another reason to get you back. But we'll get Haley back. I realized I didn't give Haley the opportunity. Haley, where can people find you? where do you normally conduct business?
We're on YouTube at Part of Your Broadway World podcast. And you can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Excellent. I have linked your page in the description below. I will obviously be sharing when our episode about James Earl Jones eventually comes out. I'll share that. Everyone can look forward to that. Yeah, we talked about Broadway generally for like a long time. And then we did we talked about James Earl Jones a lot though. We did. We
started off talking about James Earl Jones and how I was upset that he passed away and how like this was a memorial episode for him. And then it just shifted to other musicals, like, oh, forget James Earl Jones. And
I'm a derailing influence. I'm the problem. I discovered that. But you can check that out. That's coming soon. I will throw it in the description of this video of the many videos that this became when that happens. Jordan, where can the people find you?
I do Minecraft Mondays on Twitch. I'm on ZethGore187. And I also do I do this every Saturday and sometimes Sundays.
And occasionally Sundays. I'm Justin Spurr on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok. This is on TikTok at Spur of the Moment P on TikTok. You can email the show if you want to sponsor us and you want us to sell stuff. We'll sell stuff. We'll sell stuff all day. It's Justin's business. All of those links are in the description. If you somehow managed to make it through this, do any of these movies sound good to you? If I didn't include one of the other Ice Age sequels, what's your favorite Leica movie? Leave a comment, subscribe, like the video, do all the things.